Hey, Sonora and Sounder here for the Medium Games 13 Finals featuring Ultimate Geek and Cvuu. Let's take a look at the bracket before we take a look at the board. Both players won their divisions. Ultimate Geek, as the number 1 overall seed, gets to go first in game 1. Cvuu also, like I said, won their division. They knocked off Cat Don't Bark in the semifinals. Ultimate Geek defeated Tony Wild. And that's how we got to the final match here. So let's take a look at our first board. Should be, yes, Ultimate Geek is first player, so they got that set up correctly. What do we have here? Boy, looks like we've got some good trashing. Sentinel, of course, jumps out as always. Almost always you want to open Sentinel. Both players have a 4-3 here, but even on a 2-5, you often want to open Sentinel just because it's such a great trasher. Also, if you can find it on turn 3, that's a pretty big advantage as well. We've got Sewers, which could really accelerate the trashing, I suppose, if you open something like Sentinel Sewers, find Sentinel on turn 3, trash 3 cards right off the top. I don't know if that's the right move. Certainly you want to open Sentinel. I don't see any reason not to on this board. The question is, what do you pair with it? Got Rabble for draw, Monkey. One of our new 2nd edition cards is a great draw card as well, especially if your opponent is gaining lots of cards. Ultimate Geek opens Secret Cave, and I assume Sentinel, yes. Cvuu opts for the Sentinel Sewers, sort of super trashing line. Looks like both players found their Sentinel on turn 4, neither of them on turn 3. So that's a little sad, but again, since both players didn't find it until turn 4, it is even. You know what? I forgot to jump into voice chat. So the only people that can hear me here are those on watching the video. One moment. Okay, now I'm in voice chat. Forgot that one minor issue. Just put a note in here. Okay, back to the action. So I've missed a few turns here. Looks like both players have now picked up a Treasurer, which is another way to accelerate some of the trashing coppers from your hand, as well as picking up the key for an extra coin as an option. So like I said, I haven't really analyzed this board in its entirety yet. Just mentioned, obviously, Sentinel is the clear opener. Yeah, I don't know if you need Sewers here, especially if you pick up a Treasurer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the Sentinel Sewers open, but I don't know that I really like the Secret Cave open either. I feel like I might open Sentinel Silver here as a way to kind of balance trashing as well as to hit that $5 price point to get a Treasurer. With no village here, right? You really got to watch your terminal space. Druid does offer Field's Gift, so that's a nice way to, I guess, make Druid not non-terminal. However, don't really like any of the boons, so I don't know that I would ever pick up Druid here. I think I would go with Market Square for plus buy. I don't think I would ever touch Druid here. I just don't think you really ever want any of those boons. Like I said, obviously if you get terminal collision, you can play it as Field's Gift, but then it's really just a copper with a plus buy. All right, so like I said, I missed a few turns here as I was getting the voice chat set up. Ultimate Geek electing to play the Sentinel over the Treasurer, which makes sense, especially since they don't have sewers. I'm assuming they're a little behind in the trashing. They did activate their lamp, as we can see from the 3 wishes here, so that's the other important thing on this board is anytime you have the magic lamp, activating that to get your wishes is typically going to be pretty important. Ultimate Geek just takes 3 golds here, which normally golds aren't great options for the wishes, but here, given that you're terminal limited and your other competing options, Rabble and Treasurer, they already have a Treasurer, so they certainly don't need a second one. Again, with Rabble with no village, not a great option. Yeah, you're pretty limited on this board given the lack of village. So I think taking the golds there is perfectly fine, especially this early. If Cvuu activates later, like they obviously are, they may end up taking duchies wishes just as the provinces start to go. But okay, so Ultimate Geek finds 1 market square, so they're going to get 2 buys here, so they can do something like province. Oh yes, I completely forgot about the Treasurer Magic Lamp interaction. Yeah, Treasurer allows you to pull treasures from the trash, so I didn't see whether Cvuu had an opportunity to play a Treasurer early and take a second Magic Lamp, but yeah, so even though the Magic Lamp gets trashed, it can get fished back out of the trash and then played again and popped all over again for more wishes. Ultimate Geek decides to pick up a second Treasurer there in addition to their province. Their deck is big enough now where they're probably not going to collide their 2 Treasurers, so I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I think Ultimate Geek is just, by virtue of popping the lamp twice now, is just significantly ahead, and they can province here and just keep on with their density of golds as well as wishes in their deck, which presumably they're going to turn into golds, or if they don't need the golds to province, they'll just turn them into duchies. This seems pretty over at this point. Of course, as I said, that they're not likely to collide the second Treasurer they do here. Cvuu having to play this Druid for Field's Gift. Sentinel here, they can trash 1 copper, I suppose. They're not going to be able to activate again, are they? They can draw the Magic Lamp, but then they would only have 5 treasures in play. Yeah, I think Ultimate Geek's opening was better. Secret Cave Sentinel. And even though the sewers is pretty attractive in terms of accelerating the trashing, getting to pop that lamp early and then getting to pop it again a second time was just the difference in this game. All right, Cvuu possibly getting to activate here. Wishing for a cave here. I'm not sure why they didn't just wish for the gold outright in province. I don't know. I guess this is fine this way as well. They can play the treasurer now and province. Oh. Is there a silver in the trash? Not sure why they're doing that. I think as Ultimate Geek, you just want a province here and press your points advantage. Right? Because they only have 6 or 7 here, depending on what they do with the treasurer. If you don't discard, you can play the treasurer, take the key, and province. That just seems a lot better than giving yourself 3 coins for next turn. I'm not sure what they want to buy with 6 here. The duchy, okay. Yeah, like this turn with 2 wishes, they'd be able to province anyway. Just turn those wishes into golds and province. I guess now with... okay, treasury, yeah, I can take a copper from the trash for Cvuu in order to... They do have to play the bank first, which is a little sad, but they do finally get to pop. And it doesn't look like Ultimate Geek will be able to steal their magic lamp from the trash. Not that it really matters at this point. Yeah, I guess they can take a duchy with the other wish instead of a gold since they had those 3 coins, but yeah, it's all pretty academic at this point. I think the priority here beyond obviously opening Sentinel and trashing was to get the wishes as quickly as possible, because once you have the wishes, you're going to be able to hit province pretty consistently with that big of a gold density in the deck. A couple of scouting parties with their excess cash. And then that province pretty much does it. And there's the resignation. Yeah, so game 1 to Ultimate Geek. As first player, they hold serve here. And we're on to game 2. This is best of 7, if I didn't mention that already, for the final. The quarterfinal and semifinals were best of 5, but for the finals, this is best of 7, so they just keep alternating starts until someone gets to 4 wins. All right, so game 2, what are we looking at here? We've got a couple of events. One that will probably be very relevant with save. That's a handy event to help put aside cards for your next turn, or put aside 1 card for your next turn at a cost of only 1 coin. And then we've got Annex, which is probably not going to be come into play, although you never know. Not something you want to do unless you're in a desperate situation to pick up a duchy, or sometimes there's some strategic reasons to do it, but it's pretty rare. So what do we have here? Last board we had lots of trashing. This board we have Treasurer back as a way to trash copper. We have Fool, which will give boons. One of those, of course, is the Flames gift, which will, I guess, is the only way to trash your shelters. Obviously, Hovel you can trash when you buy a green card, but not really applicable until much later in the game. We've got Market Square back as well. Ooh, we have a Workers' Village open. I'm generally opposed to any sort of village open. I don't see any reason why you would do that on this board. Ultimate Geek does have the 2/5, so rather than passing, they go ahead and take the estate, which trashes the hovel. So a little bit of a small benefit to them there. And they get to open the Treasurer right off the top, which I think absolutely needs to be your first 5. Cvuu opts for the Bridge Troll on turn 3 as their first 5. Bridge Troll, very strong card, but I think you have to open Treasurer here. You really want to thin those coppers, especially with Lucky Coin. Lucky Coin's going to fill your deck full of silvers, which for the first couple times is good. You want a couple silvers in your deck probably to hit these $5 price points, but yeah, I think you have to get Treasurer as your first 5 here. I guess that Cvuu's thinking with the Workers' Village is they're already thinking in terms of Bridge Troll. Bridge Troll very powerful when you can stack them, but obviously early on with these bloated decks is going to be very difficult to do. Ultimate Geek has an excess coin, so they get to save the Overgrown Estate, which is nice. It keeps it out of the shuffle. They opt for the Bridge Troll now. Cvuu picked up another Workers' Village. Again, I see what their thinking is here. They're trying to get a bunch of Workers' Villages and Bridge Trolls, a couple Sheepdogs, I guess, to help draw the Bridge Trolls. But I think until you can thin down here, I'm assuming they're taking another Bridge Troll here. Oh, they do get the Treasurer now. Okay. Yeah, I think you've got to get a Treasurer here. So I like that. Ultimate Geek opts for the Workers' Village, which is good. They now have a couple terminals in their deck. So I can totally see picking up the Workers' Village here. What do you get with 2 buys and 3 here? Everything costs less. Probably, they've already got 2 Workers' Villages. You probably save this OE to keep it out of the shuffle and then pick up a Gear. They have a Sheepdog already. They got another Sheepdog. Isn't Gear just going to be better here? How are you activating your Sheepdogs? I guess if you got market squares that you are activating, I'm not really seeing how else Sheepdogs are getting activated here. What am I missing? I feel like Gear is just going to be a better card on this board. Because I don't think you want golds. There's no reason to pick up market squares because you're going to get the plenty of plus buys as you add more Workers' Villages to your deck. And you don't want golds here. You really don't want any more silvers at this point either from the Lucky Coin. I think as Cvuu here, I trash the Lucky Coin with Treasurer right now. Or, yeah. Wait a minute. It helps if I know how these cards work. Yeah, trash a treasure from your hand. Yeah, it doesn't have to be copper. So I would trash the Lucky Coin here. I don't think you want any more silvers in your deck. Yeah, I mean, Sheepdog activates in the buy phase, but I just don't think... I mean, certainly there's going to be a strategic place to cycle through cards with Sheepdog, but I feel like Gear is just better. Lets you set aside cards. Keep bad cards out of the next shuffle or keep excess cards that you don't need for this turn for next turn if you have extra terminals. Here, I guess you're just gearing an estate. I guess you got to count out what you want to buy here. You're going to play the Necropolis, you're going to play the Bridge Troll, you're going to play the Treasurer. Again, I would totally trash the Lucky Coin with this Treasurer. I just don't want a bunch of silvers in my deck. Ultimate Geek now goes Sheepdog. Yeah, I just don't see how you're ever going to activate these Sheepdogs until it's your buy phase, unless you get a market square, which they do. Again, I don't think I pick up any market squares on this board. They do not. Oh, they're saving the Workers' Village. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, 5 here for Ultimate Geek. 2 Bridge Trolls in play, which is nice. They can pick up 2 villages and a gear. Sheepdog, okay. Guess Ultimate Geek is planning to pick up some golds, which again, I just don't think you need treasures on this board. I want to stack up the Bridge Trolls rather than fill my deck full of yellow cards. Groundskeeper is a card that I haven't mentioned yet that will certainly come into play as well. Especially when you, I mean, if you're able to pull off this Bridge Troll mega turn, or even if it's not quite a mega turn, if you've got several Bridge Trolls in play and you can play several Groundskeepers as well, even just buying a bunch of duchies can score quite a bit of points. Okay, so Sheepdog activates here. Yeah, I guess that's the other way Sheepdog activates, is treasure or trashing copper. So, all right, I've been too harsh on Sheepdog. I forgot about the treasurer. Well, treasurer would have to pick out a card from the trash to activate it, right? So there they activated it with the market square. Yeah, JH, I just think Gear's a better card. Sheepdog's too hard to activate here. Ultimate Geek did line it up there with the market square, but again, I don't want golds in my deck. I want to thin down as much as possible, fill my deck full of workers' villages, a few gears, all the Bridge Trolls that I can handle, and set up for and then, you know, maybe pick up a few Groundskeepers. Maybe you don't even need Groundskeepers if you can get thin enough and pull off the Bridge Troll mega turn, because certainly workers' villages are going to pile, Bridge Trolls are going to pile, so you could probably really skip Groundskeepers and then just pile duchies all in one turn if you're thin enough. Yeah, more silvers. I don't like it. Yeah, and if Cvuu's Sheepdog that they played there was a gear, they could have set stuff aside. Now they draw this Bridge Troll dead with the Sheepdog by activating it in the buy phase, so... Yeah, I mean, it's draw, and I get that you want draw here. You want to draw your Bridge Trolls, but you don't want to draw your Bridge Trolls dead. You want to draw them in your action phase. Pile's getting low. 2 workers' villages, 2 Bridge Trolls, 4 Sheepdogs. Again, I think both players are going to have a hard time pulling off the mega turn, though, where they get a bunch of buys all at once. They both just have too much yellow in their deck. Workers' Village Sheepdog. Yeah, I mean, at this point, piles are so low, you got to start thinking about greening. You really only need about 3 Bridge Trolls in place and a played market square, and then you're piling and winning if you're Ultimate Geek. 4 buys with 2. They didn't play the market square? Are they planning on saving it? Oh, no. Cvuu, it's Cvuu's turn. 4 buys with 2. This is tough. I mean, they want another workers' village, but that's pretty risky with piles. I guess they could pick up a couple market squares just for the pile pressure of having those additional buys in their deck. They could save the Necropolis and pick up a gear. Yeah, the estates cost 0, so I guess, 1 estate anyways to trash the hovel. I don't know that you wanted to put 4 estates right as you're about to shuffle after this turn. Or possibly during this turn. I'm not sure what those bottom 3 cards are. They got 5 buys. Can they just pile and win here? Yeah, pretty easily, right? Cvuu lowering the estates definitely did it. right? Duchy, 3 estates, Workers Village, Bridge Troll. They only need 5 money and 6 buys to pile. And they've got the 6 buys and they've got more than 5 money. Yeah, too many estates there from Cvuu. Not that it probably mattered, because Ultimate Geek can province and yeah, sheepdogs or estates either way. All right, game 2, Ultimate Geek also takes, so now they're up 2-0 and they're back to being first player. So good start to this match from Ultimate Geek. All right, game 3. First thing that jumps out to me, well, 2 things, right? Page, which getting a champion as quickly as possible seems very important on this board. And then, of course, Sentinel is back as a great trasher. So I think regardless of your splits here, you're probably opening Page Sentinel. I guess if you've got 5, you could Cvuu up Sentinel plus Page. Neither player does. So Cvuu is a 5-cost event when you gain where you gain an action card up to 4, and then you get to put a plus buy token on that pile. So, we've got Marquise or Marquis as great draw that comes with a buy, but at some point you may want to Cvuu something, probably a Smithy, in order to get up to give yourself some extra buys. We got lots of draw here. Smithy, Marquis, Magnate, another one of our new 2nd edition cards. Not great draw, although once you have Champion in play and you've played a couple Smithies, you've got a larger hand size, it can certainly draw well, but definitely not something you want to get early. All right, so I assume both players did the Page, Sentinel. Yep, they both did the obvious open. Ultimate Geek found their Sentinel on turn 3. Cvuu did as well. Played the Page, drew the Sentinel. So good draws for both, it appears. Cvuu already with their getting to play their Treasure Hunter, which is nice. So they're going to Cvuu a Dungeon here. Yeah, Dungeon, a really good card. Allows you to sift, especially on this board where you really want to get to Champion as soon as possible. Picking up multiple dungeons on probably any 3 or 4 hand is going to be good. Although I guess once you have 1 or 2 in your deck, that's probably sufficient, especially if your Sentinel is doing its job with trashing. You're already going to be pretty thin. Both players seeing their warrior here. Cvuu, yeah, that's a pretty friendly warrior. Discarding 2 junk cards and a Page. So Cvuu should be able just to get right to the bottom of their shuffle now, thanks to that friendly warrior. 1 buy with 7 here. Think about getting the Marquis now. Yeah, I mean, you want to start pack and draw cards into your deck. Now that they have the hero, they're getting real close to... Of course, now they have the awkward situation of, do you play them? Well, they just got their hero flip, so they're definitely playing the Marquis now. So a not so friendly warrior flipping the hero for Ultimate Geek, or Cvuu played it. As Cvuu here, maybe a Smithy. 2 buys and 5 could be Page Dungeon as well. Maybe Page Dungeon's a little better. Maybe you wait, get another plus buy in your deck from the dungeon, more filtering. I think I like Page Dungeon better than Town Crier Dungeon. Okay. Yeah, they do play the marquee, which seemed pretty clear once they saw their hero in the discard pile. So this is should be a nice turn for Cvuu, getting close to the bottom of their shuffle again. Boy, I don't think you play that treasure hunter though. You don't want 4 silvers. I get wanting to get to that second warrior right away, but it's a lot of silvers. Draws with the town crier, which I like to get through the shuffle. Buys and gains 2 blacksmiths. That seems good. I think maybe marquee is a little better than 2 blacksmiths. Yeah, maybe not, actually. 2 blacksmiths is probably gives you more consistency. Excuse me. So Cvuu gets their champion right at the top of the shuffle, which is nice. Yeah, you definitely do not play the treasure hunter as Ultimate Geek. You don't want, what would it be, 6, 7 silvers? So this is nice. I would trash a silver and a copper here. You don't need all these silvers. Ultimate Geek just gained the 1 card, right? So they can play the treasure hunter this time. Yeah, real nice. Oh, wait a minute. Why did they not play their champion first? I completely missed that they didn't play the champion. Whoa. What are they... What are they doing? You have to play your champion. What? Why did they not play their champion? There's no reason to not play your champion there. That's huge. Yeah, there's some info there, but I mean, if it's truly just I forgot to play the champion, I mean, I certainly grant that undo. It doesn't change anything. You just play champion and then you play sentinel. Yeah, I agree, ZSS. That's a clear undo. Wow, that changes things pretty significantly. I thought Cvuu was quite ahead with the more friendly warrior plays, but now not having the champion in play is pretty rough. This is a lot of silvers. I don't think I want all these silvers. Wow, after the friendly warrior play and then flipping the hero, you can't play that warrior. How would they get away with it? Ultimate Geek now gets to play their champion first. I think it's close now. Yeah, I guess you take... I mean, Eldering Blacksmith is good. Beyond that, I don't know. Oh boy, now their champion goes from the top of their last shuffle to the bottom of this shuffle. We'll see if they get to play it here. Yeah, Ultimate Geek trashing silvers, as they should. Boy, Ultimate Geek's got the jump with 2 provinces, but... I mean, Cvuu's got the jump with 2 provinces, but I think... oh boy, and they get their champion gets flipped. Oh, that's rough. But Ultimate Geek just has much more deck control now. Wow. Yeah, that champion flip definitely puts Ultimate Geek. Wow, and they can triple here, which I think they should do. Cvuu certainly can't triple. Oh, wow. They found the champion at the top, but I think it's too little too late at this point. Ultimate Geek's just been able to... Yeah, Smithy for draw. Not that you're ever going to see it, but... See if they find a draw card. They do not. It gives a little bit of a lifeline to Cvuu here. Province, do you take the estate? Just in case Cvuu has an incredible draw? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see it, so I think that's the right play. Takes 2 coins over drawing. I think you want to keep drawing here. You need to play for a big turn. Did not find their marquee. I guess you got a province. I think the only way you win is by taking the last 2 provinces, but clearly Ultimate... Well, not clearly, I guess. I'm assuming Ultimate Geek's going to easily hit 8. I just don't see a way to win without taking the last 2 provinces here for Cvuu. Yeah, maybe don't take the estate this time. Maybe taking a... Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter much at this point. There's the marquee they needed last turn to get the draw. If they'd have found the marquee, I think they would have had the draw. I don't know that you need the $2 there, but at least get to the bottom of the shuffle. Oh, they didn't play the Sentinel? Okay, I guess that's just a fancy resign. Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, the magnates, once you had the... especially once you had the champion and you started drawing, the magnates would have been real nice. And certainly Smithies. Yeah, once you get the hero, it is first to 3.5, so 1 more game. I guess I can message them in the channel here. If I can get there. Hopefully they'll see that. Yep, they see it. So Cvuu start down 0-3. They've got some work to do. But let's take a look at game 4. Wow, Sentinel for 3 out of the 4 games so far. Again, I don't see any reason not to open it. Sacrifice is additional trashing. But given how good Sentinel is at trashing, I think you skip Sacrifice here. Let's take a look. We've got an event, we've got an ally, and we've got a way. Borrow can be helpful if you're 1 coin short of hitting a critical price point. It gives you an extra coin at the expense of only drawing 4 cards for your next turn. And so, you know, it can come in handy when you really want to hit a price point. What does Trapper's Lodge do? When you gain a card, you may spend a favor to put it onto your deck. So it lets you top deck. And we do have 2 liaisons here. Sycophant, which seems pretty niche to me. Generally not a good card, but in certain situations it can be good. I guess here, if you're playing with Tactician, it can be good. Guildmaster is our other liaison. So with Guildmaster in play, when you gain a card, you get a favor. Tactician is an interesting card. It looks like with action card payload, Tactician can certainly be playable here. So you have to have at least 1 card in hand when you play it, and then when you do, you discard your hand, and then your next turn you get to double your hand size to 10. You get 5 additional cards. So you start with 10 cards, you get the extra action and the extra buy. So would we play with Tactician here? I think so. I mean, you're going to be able to thin with Sentinel. You've got a couple villages with Squire and Native Village. Neither of them are great villages, but you can thin down, play a couple of villages, play Guildmasters, even Treasury. Treasury's not a great card, but in a Tactician board like this, it does draw you a card and give you a coin. So I think that's what I go for here. It looks like that's what Ultimate Geek is going for. Although Ultimate Geek picked up a Skulk, which gave them a gold, which of course gold doesn't play nice in a Tactician deck. Cvuu here, tough choice. I think you play the Sentinel, although that means that you then do not hit 5. I think you play the Sentinel though. Trashing is more important than buying a 5 here. May even buy a village here. Buy a Squire, I guess. Whoa, they're provincing already. Wow, I think it's too early to province. Especially when you have to borrow to do so. Where do you go from here? Are you just buying silver then? Are they just doing a money-ish? Okay, now they do pick up the Squire. Yeah, they really needed to play that Sentinel last turn. Okay, Ultimate Geek gets their Tactician turn. They play the Skulk for plus buy. They give them 3 buys. Might have played the Sentinel just to trash. And then the Guildmaster. They elect not to play the Guildmaster. Okay. Yeah, Cvuu just has too much junk in their deck still. They really needed to play that Sentinel last turn. Alright, so what are we doing here as Geek? Are we taking the second Tactician now, maybe? No, they don't have any villages. I mean, ideally, you would get a couple villages, maybe 3 Guildmasters, and have double Tactician. So each turn you start with those 10 cards and you're able to play 3 Guildmasters, province, play the Tactician, and then you're able to pretty consistently province. I mean, it takes a few turns to build up to that, and in the process you certainly want to get rid of your remaining coppers and estates and maybe even that gold. So if they do have 8 here, I guess they could be thinking about provincing. I mean, their deck seems better than Cvuu's, so maybe Maybe they, oh yeah, they had the computer restart. That's what they're thinking about. I don't know. I just don't think you want to green yet. Though certainly you could make a case for it just to keep pace with Cvuu, knowing that you have the better deck. I don't know. I'm a little confused by the direction here. Like I said, I think I would have picked up a couple of Squires by now. A couple Guildmasters. I think even the Tactician that Ultimate Geek picked up may have been a little early. Yeah, they do green, which of course Cvuu is going to do as well, given that they started on that already. So what do you do here? Okay. Yeah, I guess I like that. Frog those two. You could have sacrificed the Sentinel, but yeah, I think you still need the Sentinel. Both players, I think, still need the Sentinel. They both have too much junk in their deck to really do what they want to do effectively. Although I guess with this Sentinel play now, Cvuu's in a little better position, but yeah, now you end up with hands like this, with all the green that they're getting. They're just not going to be able to consistently province. So what did we sacrifice? They did sacrifice the Sentinel. Interesting. With 2 estates and 5 coppers in their deck, Ultimate Geek elects to get rid of the Sentinel. I don't think that's going to work out real well for them. I guess they're deciding, do they try to keep pace with provinces? I don't know. I don't know at this point. I mean, there's only 4 provinces left. But like I said, Cvuu's going to have a hard time. Going to have a real hard time buying 4 provinces. So I guess you can sacrifice your Squire and get a Skulk. I don't know if you want another Skulk. Squire for Cvuu. Yeah, neither of these decks are exactly how I would do it, but if you're playing Tactician, I just don't really want golds. But I guess they're playing single Tactician, so maybe this is fine. Duchy. Why Duchy? If you're gonna... Duchy sacrifice? Duchy Squire? Squire? I don't know. I'm not sure. Not really sure what the plan is. So Cvuu plays the Sentinel, and ooh, Frog. Is there really that much more for them to trash? Squire gain a silver. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I guess top decking it's fine given their deck composition. Yeah, I don't know that you frog the Skulk there as Ultimate Geek, but all right. They're having to borrow, but Cvuu's finding a way to province every other turn. Curious to see what Cvuu does here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just confused by the decks and the builds. I guess they're somewhat effective. Ultimate Geek is having a good tactician turn, but not likely to have a good turn when they don't have a tactician in play. Cvuu's having a terrible turn every other turn, but somehow managing to cobble together enough to buy a province every other turn, which, given their points lead, is certainly going to be good enough. Again with the duchy. I mean, I guess they figure they don't want to touch provinces because they understand how difficult it's going to be for Cvuu to buy the last three, but I don't know if they're going to be able to catch up just buying duchies and sacrifices or duchies and double squires. Is Sycophant good for Ultimate Geek's deck? I mean, they're playing with a tactician. It might be. They're getting a ton of... Okay. I like this, top decking the tactician with Borrow, knowing that your next turn is going to be garbage anyway. That seems good. So what do you do here as Cvuu? You're what, one short of being able to borrow for a province? They're gonna... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you can't... Just keep trying to set up your next turn to province if you can't do it this turn. Gain a silver? Silver's certainly good for their deck. Better than the average card in their deck, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess they take the Sycophant. Yeah, with all the green, that could work. Yep, might as well get rid of these estates while you can. Are they double duchying, or are they feeling fine with a province now? If they buy province, it's going to basically come down to who gets the last one. They do. I think you take a Sycophant with the 2. Maybe it's a... No, it's not. Yeah, it could be an estate. They do take the estate. Oh, they do not province. Wow, I think a Cvuu, you got a province there. They're going to have a hard time provincing Cvuu. I think, I get that it sets up Ultimate Geek for the win with a province buy, but Ultimate Geek doesn't have a tactician coming in, so if you're tracking their deck at all, you should know that it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to province back. Fiefdom. What was that worth? 1 point? 2 points? Boy. Yeah, I mean, it looks like these golds are going to work out just fine for Ultimate Geek. Now, as Ultimate Geek, do you province? I mean, it's the same thing, right? Cvuu's deck is pretty junky. But do you take the risk of buying province, knowing that if they province back? Yeah, they elect not to. I guess as Ultimate Geek, that's probably the right play. You've got the better deck. You've got the better deck. Fiefdoms? Yeesh. I guess you try to trash the Fiefdoms and fill your deck full of silver. Sycophant first. Turn 18. We got 2 provinces left. Well, as Ultimate Geek, if you can province duchy, you certainly do that here. Will they get there? I assume you start by sacrificing a sacrifice. They're 1 coin short, so I guess you're doing the double duchy again? Yeah, they have to. Well, and we can see Cvuu has... Oh, they can borrow. Yeah, Cvuu can borrow for province, but borrow for province duchy is, yeah, clearly the right play there, because now you don't get beat by a province. Which, of course, Cvuu has the ability to borrow as well and buy province, but now they cannot do so. They have to go duchy estate, I guess. Oh, they're taking the silver and just the duchy. Yeah, that's fine too. Oh, wow. Dud means... Oh, Cvuu's first player, so they cannot buy province here. 7, 8. Borrow. They're 1 coin short with a borrow of province estate. Well, they wouldn't have the... Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they can't elect buys with Squire, can they? But they can take the last duchy. So they might win on this turn if they draw well. 1 coin short for Cvuu again. Which means with a tactician in play, Ultimate Geek will surely be able to province next turn. Oh, they borrowed for an estate. I don't think you need to borrow for an estate, but I think 9 cards should be enough to province anyway. Yeah, sad for Cvuu here. They've got 6 coins. They can borrow to hit 7, but that's not good enough. They can frog the Guildmaster again and buy a Theodem, I guess. Borrow for a Theodem. Do you want to borrow again, though? Again, it's probably not going to matter. With a 9-card starting hand, surely Ultimate Geek is going to hit province. There it is. And now Cvuu's got 8. Yeah, that game got awfully sloggy. We're 21 turns into it, so... But Ultimate Geek, the tacticians ultimately pay off. And they win the game. They win the match. Congratulations to Ultimate Geek, our Medium Games 13 champion. Well played to them. Good job to Cvuu getting to the finals, having the second best overall record in the group stage and making it all the way to the finals. So good job to them. Hopefully I wasn't too harsh on the gameplay. Both players, I think, overall did play well. Obviously, Ultimate Geek a little bit better in each of the games, but hopefully they can see some room for improvement, and hopefully Cvuu will be back again for next Medium Games 14, and hopefully Ultimate Geek will be on to big games now as the Medium Games champion. So thanks to all of our Medium Games players for playing, and be sure to sign up now for the next iteration of Size Games, which is, I believe, starting in about a week and a half. I think we have about a week left to sign up, maybe a little bit more than a week. So Size Games, lots of fun, 4-game matches in the group stage, and then an opportunity to make it to the knockouts. So again, congrats to Ultimate Geek. Thanks everyone for playing, and we'll see you next time.